Welcome to On the Chain.
Here, I want to throw this up here because Tyler, this is how out of control the SEC is. Tyler Winklevoss said it's disappointing the SEC chose to file an action today. That was the other day against Gemini and other creditors working hard to recover funds. So here these guys are working their behinds off, their asses off, trying to get funds and recover them. And the SEC is hitting them with an action. Why? Because they were providing staking. So this is absolutely what's wrong. And who is getting crushed again? The retail investor. Don't worry about the institutional investors. They're always protected, right? They're always going to be protected. He said the action does nothing to further efforts to help earn users. That was what the program they ran. You could earn staking, whatever. And the behavior is totally counterproductive. I couldn't agree with them more. I just answered that tweet and said the SEC is out of control. We need congressional hearings. Warren Davidson and Rep. Tom Emmer. And then so Tracer HP said, have you seen Congress? So I said, well, the House GOP members, the red team aims to abolish the IRS and eliminate federal income tax. Is that, I don't know, House passes a bill banning exports of reserve oil to overseas, to a particular country. House passes a bill annexing $72 billion in funding for 87,000 new IRS agents. And for the first time ever, and man, I have one of the greatest CPAs and everything, but it's like getting hit with, oh, maybe you didn't do this right in your taxes. Man, everything I do is like, dotting I's, crossing T's, and this is what it is. So the shakedown and crushing of the citizens, and if you don't think they hate you, they hate you. 87,000 new agents to go there and nickel dime people that already have high inflation, and usually, yeah, is there going to be something that slips through? Yeah, but to sit there and put the thumb on the throat of everybody is absolutely insane to me. So I said, hey, is this good or not? This is a pretty good start. Would you think, Jeff? I know they haven't voted on this one yet, but this is also in there. Get rid of this because they have a flat tax plan. And if you whether you're pro or against it, the flat tax, I think it seems like a more fair way. But the bottom line is that no, there shouldn't be any federal income tax. And again, you go back to the founding of the Federal Reserve, hand in hand with income tax. That's where this country went off the rails in a big, disastrous way. A little over 100 years ago, went off the rails. And let's get back to the basics. Get rid of the IRS. Eliminate the federal income tax. And guess what? If you can print money at will, why are you hounding the hell out of the people? And why are you raising taxes all the time? No one. It's very rare. I mean, it happened in the last administration where they lowered the taxes. And you know what's funny, Jeff? This administration, that one of their promises was, we are going to get rid of those because it benefits big business. But funny thing is, 2+ years in, they haven't gotten rid of it. Why? Because they know it would be disastrous to be able to hurt people.
Yeah, 100%, Chip. And you bring up a really solid point. For years, they've been talking about the flat tax or the fair tax, and really abolishing the way the IRS works because there's too much overreach. And now we're seeing it again. We've seen it within the crypto space. We saw it within all the cash apps, right? So they came out and said if you had transacted more than $600 or received more than $600 on a cash app, you have to report it. And the cash app has to report it. And so can you imagine the burden, the absolute burden that they're placing on businesses, on individuals? But do you think they care? They absolutely do not care. They give zero Fs. And it's all about undermining your ability to earn and try to advance your financial stability. If you're concerned about your financial stability, if financial stability is in the hands of the few, but yet the norm is instability, then guess who controls you? You're controlled when your financial markets are unstable. And so this is something that I really hope they can get some traction with it. If they can get a fair tax or a flat tax going, I don't see the blue team in favor of it because they're all about tax and try to impede individual liberties to build business. They love the big businesses that support them and the lobbyists that support them, but they don't like the commoner being able to elevate themselves.
Commoner. Jeff, we're just
The
commoners at the end of the day.
We're
You know,
just commoner. We're just the common man.
just a common man and common woman. Just a bunch of slugs, Jeff.
Yeah, and Chip, you brought this up, and we talked about this. John Deaton brought this up too, that it's just a matter of time before they go after all the exchanges. And John Deaton had said, as you were commenting on before, here we go. And that's what Eleanor Terrett was mentioning on Thursday. Breaking: Genesis Trading and Gemini have been charged by the SEC with selling unregistered securities. Story developing, and then
go to hell, Jeff.
she gets into it a little bit here. The SEC alleges Gemini and Genesis violated security laws through the unregistered offering of the Gemini Earn Lending Program, which you'd mentioned. The complaint seeks permanent injunctive relief, disgorgement of ill-gotten gains, plus prejudgment interest and civil penalties. This is such an overreach of their, of their responsibility. I mean, this is it's disgusting, what we're seeing. But you know what? We're also going to see a lot of individuals that are going to be held accountable for their activities, and this is just part of it. This is the undermining, but this also kind of leads into the narrative that I brought up in the beginning, Chip, that you have the SEC undermining the interest of these crypto houses, these crypto exchange companies, however you want to phrase it, to undermine it, to batter them down to a point where their buddies in the financial institution, lobby groups, and the banks can come in and buy these assets for pennies on the dollar and go back to controlling all financial markets. The exchanges like a Gemini or an Uphold or a Coinbase or et cetera, they all serve as a threat to the way things have been done up until this point. And so we're going to see this battle continue to be waged. But Chip, you brought up one critical point. If we get legislation passed, and it's all about whether or not the Senate has the appetite for signing off on legislation passed through the Congress. It has to go through the Senate and then the president. But if we get the clarity, all this stuff goes away.
Bye-bye. Oof. How great will that be, Jeff? I mean, the whole thing.
It'd be amazing.
And Jeff, right in line with that, the funny thing is that even here, it was last year, we had John Deaton on, I think it was November of 2022. John Deaton made a prediction back then. I know he came out with these predictions, and right after he released this, boom, we got notice of that. But this is a prediction he made a year ago. He said, I'll make a prediction. The next thing they're going to do is go sue an exchange. And if we look here to John Deaton 2023 predictions, Ripple case does not settle until after we get a decision from Judge Torres. He breaks that down a little bit further. An exchange, maybe more than one, is sued for selling unregistered securities. He posted this tweet, and then it was like an hour and a half later that we got wind of that. The tweet you just showed with Eleanor Terrett. Here we go. But just to be fair to John, he made this prediction, months ago, even last year. Investigation into SB fraud meetings uncovers bad shit. And Gensler resigns before the end of year. So this is John's predictions that he's going to resign. Now, will we get a win if Gensler is also relieved? In other words, they get him out of there, impeach him, whatever. Yeah, I mean, but the fact is it's more than likely he's expendable. He's probably going to go away. Then John Deaton commented, he said, some people are confused about my prediction that Ripple case doesn't settle until after Judge Torres renders a decision. A settlement could occur, which would eliminate any potential jury trial and also eliminate any potential appeal. So he's just saying that's his prediction, but of course that is always in the cards to happen prior to a decision.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.